Joshua, could you please help me to check the camera to see if it's okay? You stand there and see if it record on the camera. How do I put down or up? Up, up, up. Is it good now? Okay, thank you. Okay, students, I'm going to do the question G and H to review for you, right? For G, I will do y squared minus y on top and 5y minus 5. Okay, so the question says simplify a rational expression, and so all what we do is just simplify it, but we know that usually the denominator cannot be 0, right? So I'm going to put in here denominator, and I'm not going to talk about restrict anymore, cannot be 0. So let's just simplify. Now, when you simplify, you usually just I say that if you have an a minus 3 divided by an a plus 4, we never can cancel like that. And we know that in order to cancel in our fraction, right, we have to put them in terms of the brackets, something like that. Then we can cancel, right? 2 brackets, right? Down here, just 1 term, but on top. So now, one thing in the bracket, then we can cancel. It's always the case. And therefore, to have the bracket, we have to factor, right? So to factor, I will say factor. So we factor the top and bottom as well. I mean denominator, right? So the top, we have to look for the common factor. And the way we factor, we look for common factor. We pull it out, right? So the common factor here is y. And I'm going to put in another bracket. And of course, the y has to be inside so that when you combine, you get back to y squared. That's the way we factor, right? Negative, I just copy down negative. And here, this is the y. So this is y. If I put y in here, when I combine, I got y squared. But this is only y to the power 1. So I cannot put y, right? What I can put is number 1. Because any number multiplied with 1 is always become a number itself. So I have to put 1. So that when I combine, I have y squared, like that, minus like that, and y times 1 is 1. Right? So that's how I factor the top. Now, the bottom, what is the common factor for the bottom, Joshua? What is the common in here? What term is common? 5, right? So I pull out the 5, and I open the bracket, and I need 5y. So I have to put y in here. So it means when I multiply, I got back to 5y, right? Negative, I put down negative. And 5, what number should I put in here? Should I put 5? 1, exactly. So now by doing that, we will see right away that we can, now that in the multiplication form, right, we can cancel. And our answer is y on top and 5 at the bottom. And we are safe because the number at the bottom is not 0. So that's how you do G. Now let's do H. He asked me for H as well. So I'm going to show you how to do H. And H is we have bracket 5a squared adding with 10a and divide by 15a to the power 3. Now I'm going to put in fraction, right? 15a to the power 3. So again, to cancel, I have to factor out. And how do I factor? What is the common for number? 5, right? What is the common for letter? 8. So for the pull out the common factor 5a, open the bracket, that's for the top. And inside, what should I put? Aaron, what number should I put in?
2 or 8.
8, very good. 8, yeah. Plus 2, very good. And just 2, right? No 8, because we need 10a. We have 5 outside already. When we tie, we get 10a. Yeah. So down here, we have 15a to the power 3. Now, in this case, we don't have the same bracket to cancel like this one. However, because they are in multiplication, we allow to cancel. Someone divide this by 5, divide this by 5, right? So when I divide this by 5, I get 1. And I get 3 down here. 15 divided by 5, right? Is 3. So down here on top, I have 1, down here I have 3. Now for the a, I have the top is a to the power 1, the bottom is a to the power 3. So how do I cancel this, student? What do you think? How do I cancel this? Yes, they are the same. It means, and they are multiplying each other, so I'm allowed to cancel. Now look at the power on top. This is power 1. Smaller than power at the bottom. All what you do is say, I'm going to say 3 minus 1, right? And because this is cancel with this 1, so this gone, and this 1 left with a to power 2. That makes sense? Because 1 on top cancel with 1 on the bottom, so it's no longer power 3, it's power 2 instead. Right? That makes sense? Now, up here, 1 is just 1. I don't even have to write it. I just put a plus 2 back, like this bracket, right? And at this point, can you cancel a here and a here? No, that's right. Very good. Don't cancel, right? Because they're in the add and subtract.
Attention please, the following students, please come to the office. Sydney Lipskowitz and Crystal Rowden. Please come to the office, Sydney Lipskowitz and Crystal Rowden. Thank you.
So now, after this, I am done. That's how you do the number 8. Now, I hope that this is a review for you as well. Everybody already hand in the homework. Some of you haven't finished, and if you haven't finished, please finish and hand it in as well. We move on today. We will learn the new topic today. And for the new topic, I will talk about, this is just simplified student, right? For the new lesson today we learn will be about multiply and divide. And then we will learn adding, subtract as well, right? So now let's do multiply and divide first. So I'm going to hand in the paper to you and we will work on multiply today.
Wait, shouldn't you learn add and subtract first since it's easier?
No, I don't think it's easier. That's why I think that multiply and divide easier.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. Yeah, sometimes they put in the order like add and subtract first, but I believe that multiply and divide easier than add and subtract. Okay, so I'm gonna put in the lesson today, the new lesson today. Lesson 2 or lesson 1. So lesson 1 is simplify, lesson 2 is multiply. Multiply and divide a rational expression. And I'm going to give you the paper. Yeah. Can you talk about it? And sorry, student, I think I didn't have the answer key for now, but I will make the answer key and give it to you for the next class. Okay? So exercise 3.6. In order to find the product of the following rational expressions. Now find the product, student. Find the product. Now what product means? Product just means multiply. So we have 1a, 2m over n, and the dot means when they put big like a student, obviously it's multiply, it's not decimal, right? So half that you understand the dot is just replace the multiplication sign. And the reason because if we put the multiplication sign, it looks like an X, and that's why we don't like it. That's why I put the dot instead. N over 4. Okay, so assume again, assume that the denominator is not 0, right? So of course, will be n has to be different from 0. I just write that, okay? On top. Now, how do I find the product? Now, student, if you do in multiply, right? Let's say you have 2m times with 3, and you have, no, I just want to say, so let's say you have 2 times 3 over 3 times 4. Let's say you have something like that, right? And regardless, you join them together like that, or you separate them, you write like this. In bracket, dot, in bracket, like that. And you see that doesn't matter you separate them or you join them in one fraction, the top is together, the bottom is together. You can write like this, you can write like that. It makes no difference, right? And in multiplication, we know that usually when we do this, we usually say, oh, this is equal to 2 times 3 is 6, over 3 times 4 is 12. And we create the big fraction. But then we say at the end, after I tie the top and the bottom, I will divide that. We divide this by 3 and divide this by 3. So my final answer is 2 over 4. And actually, you can review again, you divide by 2, divide by 2. The final answer is 1 over 2, right? That's the one way of doing it. But why bother? If you can cancel it, if they are in multiply, and nothing wrong, you cancel first. If you cancel first, you will say, I'm going to cancel this one with this one, right? Now I left with 2 over 4. And then I divide by 2, and divide by 2, I get 1 over 2. So you get the same answer. It doesn't matter, you cancel first, then you join them later if you cannot reduce the fraction, or you multiply the top first, multiply the bottom, and then reduce the fraction. The order doesn't matter. But doing canceling like that is a lot shorter and easier, right? That's why the first step, we learn how to simplify them first. And therefore, we don't have to follow the normal, which means tie the top and tie the bottom. So all what we do here, if you see they are crossed like that, and they look aligned, all what we do is cancel. And the 2 here, you also can divide this by 2, and the 4 you can divide by 2. So on the top, your answer will be 1m. At the bottom, you have 4 divided by 2 is 2. And that's your final answer, right? You divide this by 2.
So even if the two's connected to the end, you can still divide by two.
Yeah, because you divide it by 2, you also divide by 2. Remember in fraction, and now if you divide the top and the bottom with the same number, you don't change it. It let you reduce to low fraction. As long as they both divide by 2. Okay? So the answer is m over 2. Now, if in the future, if you quick, you just say, I'm going to cancel the 2 with the 4. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. And this is just 1. You can do that way as well. Okay? So that's 1a. Now, I'm going to do 1c, student. 1c, you have x squared over 5y times with 15y squared over x. So before I do anything, I like to put this. Y cannot be 0 and x cannot be 0 first. Okay. Now I'm going to canceling, right? So how do I cancel, student? This is power 2, this is power 1. So as long as the power underneath here is smaller than the power on top, and they are the same vector, you can get rid of x to power 1, right? And on the top, 2 minus 1, right? It's just 1. So on the top, this power will become 1. Now, what about the y? Same thing. I'm going to cancel down here because that's power 1. This is 2 minus 1, it's just 1 left over, right? What about 15? 15 can also divide by 5. On the top, I got 3 on top, but the 5 is just become 1. So the answer for this question will be x on the top, x power 1, 3, I'm going to put in front, 3x, y over, this will become 1, right? And they both gone. Yeah, so just 3xy. That's it. You don't even have a denominator. After you cancel, that's what you get. Everybody understand about this? Any questions for this student? Aaron, do you have any questions? Chase, do you have any questions? You okay? You understand about this or not?
Yeah.
Unsure? And if you don't get it, please come after class and ask me, okay? Everybody okay with this, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the next question. The next question will be about now I leave the B for you to do it. I believe you can do it, right? Can you do the B, student?
Yeah.
B, yeah. 1B,
Yeah, just do that.
you just bracket it. See x minus 3 on top, you bracket it, and at the bottom, x minus 3 you bracket it. Then you can cancel these two brackets, right? One on top, one bottom, the same, you can cancel it. Because they multiply, yeah. Okay, so what question you would like me to do, student? B what?
Can we, wait, you might do it and then one more stop.
No.
No. There's what?
Well, you have to do some of them. I'm not gonna do all for you,
Can
right?
we do D?
Yeah.
1D,
Okay.
okay. So, gonna do 1D. 1D. 1D is, you have number 2. And then down here you have a quadratic function. We call, what is it? We call trinomial. Trinomial, because 3 terms we call a trinomial. Right? Bi means 2, binomial. But this is trinomial. Dot means multiply. You have 2 on top, times with x squared minus 2x. The 5 bracket. Down here, number 8. Now, students, make sure that when it's in the adding subtract like that, we cannot restrict them. The only way we can restrict the denominator is not 0 after we factor. So always factor. Okay, so step 1, factor. Always factor out. Now we have to factor the trinomial, right? So I'm just copy the 2, nothing change. Down here, I'm going to factor. And the way we factor, we learned already. We, okay, let me see. Oh, exactly, looks exactly the same. Oh, very good. So what is difficult? They're easy. We don't even have to factor.
I think it's.
Because we can bracket them, and they're exactly the same, the sign the same, power, same letter, same, doesn't matter, 3 term, 4 term. See, between these 2 guys, they are multiplied, right? Therefore, you're allowed to cancel the whole bracket.
You just can sometimes do a rate, which is 4 rate.
And the A here, you can cancel as well. We'll divide the A by 2 to get 4. And this is just get 1, right? So what are you left with? You're left with, now you have to, no, this cancel gone. So 2 over 4. 2 over 4, you reduce low fraction, become 1 over 2.
What happens if 2 attached to the bracket?
That happened, it's right here.
Uh,
This is gone, so it's right here.
Then does the 2 that you canceled to that turn?
It's just 1. 1 times 2 is just 2.
Ah,
1 times any number is the same like that number.
I just didn't know. No.
Okay, so actually it's easy, it's not hard. Okay, so let's do another one. Which one, student? H. H, okay, let's do H. 1H,
You just back up.
we have 3x minus 9 over 2 times with 10y over x minus 3. Okay, again, which always we do is factor. Okay. Now, I don't require you to have to restrict, but I'm going to restrict. X minus 3 has to be different from 0, and x has to be different from move it over, negative become positive. Okay, so I restrict the denominator down here. Now, let's factor out. Always factor. So the top dot the bottom. What the common factor in here? I can pull out 3. Very good. So pull out 3. James, can you watch this? You see 3 and 9 is 3 is the common factor. Okay. So now I open the bracket. But put 1 in here, x in here, sorry, because 3 times x is 3x. I get back to that, right? I copied out the negative. What number go in here, James? What do you think? What number times with 3 to be back to you now? 3, right? So I have to put the 3 in here. Because 3 times 3 give me 9. That's why, right? So that's how you factor. Okay? Now down here, 2 still 2. Up here, I have 10y. Down here, I have x minus 3. Now, when you factor, they're in bracket, right? Can you cancel? Yeah. You can cancel down here and up here, right? You can bracket it, this one, and cancel this. Now, 10, you can divide by 2. You can divide across like that, right? So 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 10 divided by 2, this will become 1. And this becomes 5. Now, what else I can cancel? That's it. So my answer will be 3 times 5, students. Now, after I simplify, I cancel. Now, I tie the top, I tie the bottom. And the top, I have 3 times 5, which is 15, right? 3 times 5 is 15, and the y. Down here, I don't have anything except number 1, which is you don't have to write number 1 underneath, right? Just leave it like that. Any question about this? Student, Jay, Joshua, Aaron, you understand what we're doing here? Good. Okay.
Can you do L?
Do L? Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's do L. So everybody understand this, right? No question, right? Let's do L. So 1L, we have M minus N over M plus N.
It's also negative.
There is a negative in front?
Yep.
Good, right? So apply it. Time with minus 1 on top. Down here is 2M minus 2N. And time with they are negative, right? 2M plus 2N over 1. Okay, so let's take care of the sign a little bit, right, students? Now, in order to take care of the sign, I put them in brackets so that it's easy for me to see, right? So the sign in front of the fraction, there only one sign belongs to one fraction student, right? So let's think about this. I'm going to take care of the sign first. Negative times negative becomes positive, right? So I'm going to just copy it exactly the same, but instead of negative, I don't have anymore. It's just positive. N over M plus N. You know what? I think they do it for a reason. Let me think about it. Instead of doing like that.
Can you times them by 1?
Yeah, negative 1.
Negative.
That's okay. Just do that. So I say negative times negative is positive, right? And this guy becomes positive as well. 1 over 2M minus 2M. Can you like distribute the
Can we
two?
just times the first fraction by 2, setting the top one matches the bottom one, the second one? And
You can factor out the 2 rather than. That's right, but I took care of the side before I factor. Let's do just like this first, to make it easy. I just say negative times negative becomes positive. And these two guys become positive for now. Nothing changed except the sign. Now this guy has to be negative because we only time this with this and make become positive for these two guys. But these two guys have to be negative. 2M plus 2M over 1. So now I'm going to do next step on a factor. Okay? So factor. Yes, just be patient. I'm going to try.
time.
I'm going to factor out the 2 students. And the M will go in here, and minus will be a minus, and the N will be here. Now I'm going to But remember, this is a multiplication, right? Not subtract. So I'm going to distribute this in here. You know what? Just leave it for now. I'm going to write down the two first. 2 times m plus n. And factor over what? Okay. So now what will happen, students? Can I cancel this one with this one? Cancel, cancel. Can I cancel this one with this one? Cancel, cancel. So what the answer will be? 1/2 times with -2. 1/2 times -2. Now, can I cancel the top 2 with the bottom down here?
No.
Why not? But this is multiply. This is negative belong to the side only, but these operations are multiplied. See the dot here? It means this guy is negative number, but 2 cancel with 2. You see on the top, you can put one underneath, doesn't matter.
So when you're multiplying, it doesn't have the sign, so that's what.
That's right, as long as this is in one bracket, this is in one bracket. But you have to take care of the side. So -2 divided by 2 will become -1. So -1 on top and 1 at the bottom, which is just -1. Do we have the answer key? Yeah, forget to make the answer key for you guys. But do you understand this or not? Are you still down?
I don't really get the end part, like those 1/2.
Yeah, what is it?
Isn't it 2/2?
No.
Okay, let me repeat again one more time, okay? First, I multiply this time, this with this, I multiply their side together. You okay with up to that? So the first fraction negative times with the second fraction negative, negative and negative, both of them become positive. Right? And I don't even have to put positive in, but they're positive. Because negative and negative is positive. Are you understand up to here?
I just don't know.
Now, for this one, I factor out, I just keep the same, I didn't change anything, I just copy it down, right? Now I factor out the 2 outside, but I still have a negative in front of this fraction, right? So I have -2. Inside, I have m plus n. Everybody agree up to here? Right? All I do is say this is negative. Remember, when you have one side for a fraction, it's just one side to that. Okay? So I say -2. I factor out the 2. Inside, I have m plus n. Over what? Right? Now I look at it and I say, actually, this means this. You understand this? I can bracket this number like that, right? Time with this bracket like that, right? So now I cancel m plus n with m plus n down here because they're exactly the same. M plus n, m plus n. Right? Now I look at m minus n, they're exactly the same. Cancel again. Now what do I left over? I left over -2, this number on top. And actually, I left over with 1/2 here. Time with -2 over what? Is that right? I can bracket this one. I can bracket this one. Doesn't matter I bracket or not, right? Now, because they're in bracket, I can say 2 divided by 2, which is 1, but the negative is still there because this is positive, this is negative. Right? Negative divided by positive is negative, isn't it? So the negative is still there. So two cancel with two, this become one. So this is minus one on top over one at the bottom, the same by minus one. Just make sure you understand that this is a multiplication. This negative only belongs to this number. This number have a negative side, but the operation is multiply. That's why they have a dot here. They have a dot here. Okay?
Can I help on J?
Do you understand this or not, Kiana?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Any question for the student? You all understand about this?
Stack on five.
Oh, yeah.
I know sometimes the side is a bit tricky, but just this is how you do it. Okay? So, one more question you want to ask me?
Can I help with I?
One eye?
Yeah.
Okay, one eye is not hard, but
Well, it's hard for me.
hard. It seems that I do this paper for all of you. Okay, so let's do one, let's make this as the lesson. Okay, it's okay, you are not practice. Okay, one eye, is that right, Kiana?
Yeah.
So we have m minus n divided by m plus n again, times with phi m plus phi over 2m minus 2n. Now, students, just remember you can bracket yourself if they don't have it. Right? You can bracket yourself. Maybe that will make you feel easier, not confused between multiply and subtract, right? So bracket on your own if they don't have it. Now, let's do it. Factor, always factor. Factor the top, factor the bottom. Factor whatever you can. Okay? Now, the top, this number, you don't have anything to factor. So copy it again. That's it, that's it. Now the second one factor. 5, right? Is a common factor. This guy and this guy. Pull it out. Inside you have m plus what? 1. That's right. Right? Down here, factor out the 2 outside. Inside you have and in bracket, right? So now, can we cancel?
Well, can you cancel the n plus 9 and the n plus 1?
You only can cancel if they are the same inside the bracket. M minus n, m minus n. You see the only two guys you can cancel. Cancel, cancel. Right? On the top, cannot cancel further because it's the m plus 1, but it's the m plus n. So your answer will just 5 on top, m plus 1 on top, over m plus n. And that's your answer.
Isn't it 2 and?
Yeah, 2. And put in bracket. That's your answer. Now, because 5 is not divided easily, you leave it as fraction. If you want, you can say 5 divided by 2 equals 2.5. And this number just in front, and nothing wrong with that. If you want to do that, that's okay too. So, everybody understand about this, student? Okay, K is very easy. Kiana, all what you do is cancel top power. Y3 cancel with Y to power 2 down here. So you have, yes. You have 1 to power, Y to power 1 on top, left, over, but the bottom is gone. The bottom becomes Y times with 1. That make sense?
No. I need it like shown.
Really
Okay. Okay. Wait, 1K, right? So you have 2 over y times with 1 over y square times with y over 3 over a. So how we do this, student? Y3 higher than power y2. So the same like 3 minus 2, right? 3 minus 2, you left with 1. And down here it's gone. In other words, if you don't understand this shortcut, you can interpret like this. Y times y times with y times y times y over a. You can do like that as well, but this is long way. Why bother? Then what does that happen? Y times y, cross this. Cross this. So you left this one y like that, and the y down here. So that y up on top also can cancel with the y at the bottom. And the a can cancel with the 2. This becomes 4, and this becomes 1. So what do you left over? 1 on top, 4 at the bottom. That's all. See, if you do a long way like that, y to the power 3 is y times y times y. Y to the power 2 is y times y. Now cross this, you left with 1 y. All what I do is I say this is power 2 smaller than this. So I use 3 minus 2. Cross it becomes power 1. Because this is cancelled, so it's gone. So the shortcut is a lot easier for me, I think that way, because you will operate a lot. So learn how to do shortcut as well. Instead of interpret like this. Interpret like this is a long way, but overall you get the same answer. What this becomes, this y, you cancel with this y, a divided by 2, you left with 1 over 4 as well. Right? Same thing. Any question for this student? Kiana, I'm good. Any question? You good now? So you see what I'm trying to do, right? I show you the long way, but I would rather do short way because you operate a lot. And if you do shortcut, it's always easier. Concept is the same. Right? This is power 3, so you have extra 1y. This is power 2. And it means when you cancel, it's just gone, become 1. And this left with power 1 on top. 3 minus 2 is power 1. Okay? Yeah. All right. So I hope that the rest you can practice on your own. Can you? How to divide?
Do what?
Okay, let's talk about
We
divide.
only have a few more minutes.
We have 10 minutes.
No,
We have 8 minutes.
How about you practice in 10 minutes and then we go to, do we have another second period today?
Yeah.
Then the second period, I will talk about divide.
What if you're done already?
No, we're not, because on the back you still have a lot, right?
But that's divide. Yeah, that's divide, but I haven't.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah, that's divide. So in the second period, we talk about divide. So in the first period, we talk about multiplying. In the second period, we talk about divide. Okay, students, so I leave you 10 minutes for practice or relax. Whatever you want to do.
Friday.